Oh, hi there. I'm going to talk about the more recent viral videos of white people going on racist rants in public settings. There's an instance where a man was racist in a Starbucks, allegedly because somebody had spilled coffee on him. Last month, there was a woman in Pennsylvania who was in a Walmart, and she started going on about the Latinos and the blacks and stuff like that. There was a woman in a Sprint mobile phone store who went on some sort of rant. I didn't read into that one too much. Another one where a woman was saying something about Indian on an Indian, something like that. I think it was in New York or something. Um, there's the woman in Trader Joe's going on about anti-Muslims. It wasn't that long ago when a well-known, not well-known, but a known white supremacist um, was berating Muslim women and then ended up stabbing a few veterans. And he's since been arrested, and who I don't even know. But anyway, this is the propaganda machine in full swing, and it's dictating how we should think. A lot of people they see information and they interpret a certain way, and one way or another, they go along with the narrative that the government and the propaganda machine want them to believe. And you type in the Google search engine, woman racist rant, and the first page, which is all the new relevant stuff, all white people on a racist rant. And like the ones about Muslim women or Muslims in general are absolutely ridiculous. On one hand, white people are demonized as being stupid, ignorant, and intolerant. When they say a few harsh words to Muslims in a Western country, meanwhile overseas, the army's bombing the crap out of them and literally slaughtering them. So the hypocrisy that the government would even come out with this approach is laughable. And it's really spooky, because these are fucking truly sadistic, twisted people who come up with this propaganda, and they work on the premise that well, they know more than you do, they're more qualified, and therefore they have a more intelligent opinion than you do, and you don't have to have an intelligent opinion. You just have to be told what to think and color inside the lines. Uh, the thing is, we'll talk about the woman in the Walmart, the old woman, and she grew up in a certain atmosphere. I mean, it's in Pennsylvania, for Christ's sakes. Uh, so she went on about the Mexicans and the blacks and things like that, and she didn't know what to do. She's obviously scared, regardless of what these people pretend, and she just doesn't know how to react to the situation because Mexicans and blacks moving in your neighborhood, yeah, actually, that's racist in a different sort of way, in a more kind of vicious sort of way. Like they're taking over your land, uh, your resources, and everything that you have. And the media is saying, just lie back and take it. And, some of us are going to go, no. Um, this kind of stuff would not be tolerated in their countries. Yeah, you try this in Mexico. I see how well that goes. And these people who instantly whip out the camera and try to upload it to usually Facebook, but and social media in general. Who needs the Stasi? Who needs government surveillance when your neighbor, the person next to you, is more than willing to video record you making an idiot out of yourself and post it on the internet and try and make it viral. Like these people, they go on about CTV cameras and things like that. And the real people who are holding the cameras are the obvious people, the people with their smartphones who are just looking for an excuse to record someone and throw it up on the internet. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes they don't know better. It's just the culture they were grown up in. Like this woman in Toronto, she went on a rant in a Chinese grocery store where the employees couldn't speak English. And it was a teenage boy who recorded the video of her making this racist rant. And he's 15 years old. I mean, he doesn't know any better. You give him a toy like a camera with internet capability, and he's gonna do things like that. I think the teenage boy should be more demonized than the woman being racist because it is far more dangerous with somebody with a camera with the ability to flip something up on the internet than it is for a woman just to get about, mouthy at a grocery store. It's far worse. Um, and again, this is just another woman who can't cope with how the world is changing, how what's normal is changed from how things used to be. No, okay, things how they used to be needed to change. That's most certainly true. Um, there are many instances where there have been many wrong things that have happened in previous societies, but the direction um, we're kind of being pushed into is not one I agree with on a lot of scales. There are a lot of things that are messed up about how the government's trying to push us into what they consider normal, what they want out of the average everyday person. It's called taking a bitter pill. And they keep telling us it tastes good, this is what we want, but no, it isn't good. We don't want it. And like the media, the propaganda machine is vague. It's vague for just about everybody. Um, I don't blame people for going, I'm just sick of this shit. I'm sick of television. I'm sick of the internet. I don't want to deal with any of it. It doesn't seem to affect my everyday life, but it kind of does because what's going on in these racist tirade videos is the encroachment of people of different races into white neighborhoods. And there's a thing called white flight where the white people just bail on a scene where there ain't enough white people around. I mean, it is a natural thing to do uh, because you lose control. You lose authority uh, when people of different ethnic backgrounds start showing up en masse into your neighborhood. And if the mechanism you would normally use to defend yourself is taken away, you don't have much choice but to just bail. And no, the government in this instance cannot be trusted to take care of its people. In fact, they're more than willing to, you know, push us on the ground and do nothing. They don't care if a few white people get left behind. But it's not what I think. There are more intelligent people on this situation than me. But what I think is pretty important too, like this whole accepting of everyone, the normalification of masses of racially diverse people coming into white countries has got to stop. And the sheer hypocrisy of it. I mean, the government and the army are destroying worlds outside of ours. They're going to the Middle East and destroying worlds. And yet they come here and try to shove a bitter pill down our throats as well. Um, Clearly, there's a communication error. Uh, it has a thing to do with the wheels of confusion. They don't want anyone really knowing what's going on, and so they create this propaganda to modify how people think. And when they do that, they're able to control them. And these are intelligent people who have, practiced time and time again for decades on how to talk to people. And you may go, well, I'm, full grown adult. No one can talk to me in a certain way and manipulate how I think. Well, you'd be wrong because this stuff has all been documented for a very long time. They know human behavior and they know people's tendencies. They go, if he's born in this year, then odds are he knows about this, that, and these are probably his interests. And then, therefore, if they know his interests, they know his hobbies, they know his mannerisms and everything else, then odds are they know how to lie to you too. They know how to make a lie sound palatable to you so that you don't quite get that it is a lie. And this propaganda is racist on so many different levels. Like, I don't like it because I'm under the impression that there are just too many idiots out there in the world who don't really question what they see on media outlets, who just see this and see that it's the government saying that white people are the ones going on racist rants and white people are the intolerant idiots. And it has been that way for, I don't know, at least a solid 20 years for me anyway. I mean, I'm 31 years old. I don't quite remember how the propaganda machine was going when I was 11, okay? I just don't. And I don't really talk to too many people about it. So, from what I've seen, there's been an undertone of white shaming that's gone on in society for a long time now. That 20 years is a long time. Um, as far as manipulating the masses into believing what you want them to, that takes many more decades to whittle out any kind of behaviors, undesirable traits that the government doesn't want its citizens to have. But slowly but surely, all these things will start to change, and it will work on a country and a global scale, um, just by what basically amounts to chronic nagging. Um, there's different levels of racism, and you don't know that the people who write these articles on the internet for easily accessible Google media aren't in fact racist themselves. You don't know that. In fact, more than likely they are. And this is just another manipulative tactic. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know what young people are going to be molded into and be the future leaders of society. But, somebody's got to put a stop to some of this stuff, man, because it's pretty bad. Um, it's such a wide, large topic. It's hard to make just one video about it. Um, so anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it at here and try and think my thoughts over and maybe write some stuff down instead of just saying it off the top of my head, and I can get a better video going. This is just like a trial here. So I would get back to it because there's a lot of valid points, but it takes a long time to explain them. So, anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Talk to you guys later.